Hey everyone, welcome to the Expat Edge. In this video, we're going to find out how expensive Colombia and Mexico are for a digital nomad.
Welcome to the Expat Edge with Marcus and Matt, where we answer your questions about becoming an expat to help you thrive abroad.
Joe, you have a lot of experience in Colombia and Mexico. Can you share with us what some of the basic costs are? Not like detailed, but an overall budget range for somebody who wants to consider one of those two countries.
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on if you want to live alone or with somebody else. In Latin America, there's a lot of opportunities for renting a room out. If you want to find those places, I would recommend joining a Facebook group for that city. Just type in the city name and then expats, or if you can speak, or just type in apartamento or habitación, and that could lead you to a room, a single room. They might have different amenities, so just check them out. In Mexico and in Colombia, if you wanted just a room, that could cost you anywhere between like $150 a month furnished to like $400 furnished. It just depends on the location and the type of amenities you're receiving. If you want to live by yourself in a one bedroom and you want it furnished, I would say that could cost anywhere between like $500 to $1,000. And usually that includes all the utilities, the internet, it's furnished. You don't have to buy new cookware. So that could definitely be a lot cheaper than living here in the United States. When it comes to buying groceries, it's probably like half the price, or it could be even less than that depending on what you're buying. If you're buying lots of fruits and other staples like that, it could be pretty cheap. I noticed it is cheaper in Colombia than it is in Mexico, but it's still pretty cheap. If you want to like Ubers in Colombia, it could be anywhere from like $3 to $8, and depending on the distance. I would say a little bit pricier in Mexico. When it comes to like going out, like if you wanted to get a beer or something, it costs like anywhere between $1 to $2 per beer. Meals could be around like $3 to $5 when you go out. It could definitely get a lot more expensive than that, but if you're eating like a local, then yeah, you should expect that type of price range.
Okay, so I don't like to ask this question without context. So, you know, like I want to ask how much you spend typically, or what's your kind of range, but also can you share the lifestyle that you have so that we can understand, like, do you prefer a more like a better accommodation, better apartment, living on your own, or what's your lifestyle and what range do you spend typically in a month?
Well, two things that are important to me are cafes, because I love coffee, and there needs to be a gym nearby. So this is why I like big cities, because they tend to have lots of cafes and gyms. I also like to walk a lot, so I can listen to podcasts and get some exercise in. So those are the type of amenities I'm really looking for. Like when I was living in Medellin, I was living right next to the football stadium, so I could go there and rollerblade. One thing I liked about Medellin is a very fit city. So on Sundays, they close down parts of the roads. So runners, bikers, and rollerbladers can use the lanes for that time period. In Colombia, that was also on like, I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, they shut down a lane in the highway to do the same thing. I don't know, it just looks really cool rollerblading. And I have like plantar fasciitis and a bad lower back. So rollerblading is really good on my joints and it's good cardio. So I was like, okay, that's really why I want to learn rollerblading for that. And it's good for maintaining balance. But those are the things I'm looking for in a city, is those type of amenities. I also like quiet places. It can be really hard to find that in Medellin and Mexico. It just depends. So because I work from home, I have meetings, so I don't want a lot of noise interrupting my workflow.
Okay. What would you say a single person should expect to, live, comfortable, do their hobbies, and let's say a one bedroom apartment or a one room apartment by themselves?
I would say having between $1,200 to $2,000 could be fine. Obviously, the more luxurious it could be, but I would say that's like where you need to start off, just making $1,200 a month.
Okay, that's really pretty good, actually. That's like including food, accommodation, transportation. Would that include like public transportation or also Ubers and things like that once in a while?
Ubers and stuff like that. But in Mexico City, in Guadalajara, they have trains. They're like 50 cents, 25. Yeah, I think they're like 50 cents to take. Same thing in Colombia. It's like 50 cents to take the train there. And just the thing, like living in those cities, traffic can be pretty bad. So sometimes it's a lot faster taking the train than trying to take a Uber, depending on the time of the day.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that gives us a good idea of what you would want to plan for if you're going to some place like Colombia or Mexico. You know, whether you're that kind of lifestyle for $1,200, $2,000 range. I think you could probably afford, in most South American countries, you could afford fairly decent, comfortable lifestyle. So those are some of the things that Joe affords himself. Before that, you moved from DC, where how much would you be spending a month for something like that, for a similar lifestyle?
I would probably minimum like $6,000 a month in DC.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I've never been to DC. I know Matt previously in some other videos explained that it was pretty spendy. That's why he moved to Texas. But even the lower cost cities in the US don't really compare to some of those South American countries. So thanks for giving us a better idea on what you would spend in Colombia or Mexico. We'll see you in another video.
All right. Sounds good, Marcus. Thanks.
This was the Expat Edge with Matt and Marcus. We hope you enjoyed the video. Visit theexpatedge.com for even more content that will help you thrive abroad. You can submit your ideas for video topics and sign up for free at theexpatedge.com. See you there.